I was 40 years old, had two little kids, and basically no job. I realized that I was essentially unhireable since I was 40 years old and my resume just said horse. My first entrepreneurial venture was I had a paper route when I was a kid, and it was kind of a classic entrepreneurial venture in that, things could go wrong. Like one morning, I would put the newspapers at a strategic place around the neighborhood and put a rock on top of them. One time the rock came off and the papers blew away over my customers' lawns. And so that showed me, things can go wrong in an entrepreneurial venture. But I think that really did teach me a lot and maybe whetted my appetite, because I knew that if I worked hard, I could make a little bit of money. And I had to collect from all the customers, and some of them didn't pay. I ran into, a very small level, a lot of the issues that come up with a larger business. So I left Gainesway in 1985 and started with a partner, Johnny Jones. We started a company called Live Full Company, where we arbitraged stallion seasons. And so back then we would buy a season, which is a one-year breeding right, in Secretariat, for a horse everybody knows, for $50,000, and we would immediately, same day, turn around and sell it for $80,000 to another breeder. So that was a successful business, but toward the end of the 80s, there was a huge recession in the horse industry, and our lender to Live Full Company went under, and none of the banks wanted to pick it up, so we were kind of out of business. And that was at the stage where I really kind of didn't know what to do. I was 40 years old, had two little kids, and basically no job. We had two houses at the time because we moved. We couldn't sell the old house for 2-3 years, and paying two mortgages. And so I was kind of looking for any opportunity. But I realized that I was essentially unhireable since I was 40 years old and my resume just said horse. So I'm not like I'm going to go get a job in a bank or an insurance company or anywhere. So I was pretty much confined, if I wanted to succeed, in my opinion anyway, at the time, to entrepreneurial ventures of some sort. And I just kept trying things, hoping something would work, and finally I met a Swedish horse chiropractor who introduced me to a Swedish guy who claimed to make the world's greatest mattress. And so I got on a plane and went to Stockholm and met Michael there, stayed at his house for a couple days. He's in the horse business, so we talked horses most of the time. And finally I said, he asked me what I thought of the mattress that I slept in. I said, I think it's the most unbelievable product I've encountered. And he said, well, we're just launching it now in Sweden. And I said, well, I'm interested. And so we kind of hit it off on a horse level and kind of a almost immediate friendship level. And so it wasn't very long, another month or two, he flew over, and we hammered out a deal where he gave me exclusive North American distribution rights for this mattress product. And that's how Tempur-Pedic was born. The original deal was that we had to sell 10,000 mattresses the first year in order to maintain exclusivity, because he still didn't really know me that well, and he knew I was a horse guy, and so that's how he protected himself. And the other stipulation was that they could not finance us. I would have to find my own investors. So I did. I raised about $500,000 the first year, which is the first half of 1992. The harder part was the 10,000 mattresses the first year. And that we fell short. We ended up selling 70 mattresses. So we missed the goal by 9,930. The big breakthrough though for us that first year was with the pillow. After some trial and error, we did kind of figure out how to sell pillows to chiropractors. The way we did that is we had a chiropractor advising us, and I asked him, I said, how would you go about selling this? He said, well, it's so impressive, the product with the slow comeback, the temperature sensitivity, how it molds to your head and neck. He said, just take it and show it to chiropractors. So I'm doing the math on the fact there's 40,000 chiropractors in the country, and we got the whole country. And we don't have any distribution network. We don't have our own sales reps. And I said, what if I just mailed them one? He said, well, it might work. So I mailed 500 unsuspecting chiropractors a pillow in a box, and it was a big product like this with a letter on top saying this is the Tempur-Pedic Swedish neck pillow, greatest thing since sliced bread, yada, 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 and it's yours free if you order 4. And we had 25% of them order 4, which was amazing. It's a testament to the power, the emotional power of the product. 50% said, and we asked them if you don't like it, can we pick it up at our expense? 50% said, you can come get it. And 25% said, you can't come get it, and we're not buying any. And but of the 50, 125, 25% were now customers and distributors. And that's why when we missed the 10,000 mattress goal, they decided to continue on with us because we were making progress. They could see that, and they could see that we were someone they could work with. And so on January 1st, 2000, we merged all the entities. I was expecting Michael Magnuson to be CEO of the combined group, but he and Doug Landvik, his partner and brother, stepbrother, asked me to be the CEO of the group, which surprised me. I wasn't that involved with the international operations at that time, although we had gone over there quite a bit to kind of learn from each other during those years. There was 3 or 4 big marketing successes that we had that was the reason that we made it. Basically, the first one was selling pillows to chiropractors. That got us off the ground, got us in business, got the phones ringing. The second one was Brookstone. My wife and I were shopping in '92, I believe, around Thanksgiving time in Cincinnati, and I was bored to tears, as usual, shopping, and she said, well, take your pillow and go to Brookstone because they sell pillows and maybe you can sell the pillow to them. So I did, and some young guy didn't know anything, but he gave me the headquarters in New Hampshire number. So I called there and I asked for purchasing, and they gave me a guy named Steve Rich, who I left a message for, and he didn't call me back. And so I did that every day for about 5 or 6 weeks. I called Steve Rich, and about 5 or 6 weeks later, my secretary comes in and says, Bobby, there's Steve Rich on line 2, do you want to take it? And I said, yeah, I think I'll take that. That was a big day. That was huge. Sell 500 pillows for us. This was in '93. And within 2 weeks, we were the hottest selling new product in Brookstone. And eventually, we became almost the identity of Brookstone. Their executives would tell me that when they would go to parties, that people would ask them, where do you work? And they would say, Brookstone. And they go, oh, the one with the pillow. And so the Brookstone Tempur-Pedic partnership was huge for many, many years. We started selling in the New Yorker magazine, and we would pay $25,000 for a 3/4 page ad. And within the call to action was call for a free video. We weren't trying to sell it, trying to just get the video in their hands. And we got a lot of leads. We got, every time we ran the ad, we got 800 to 1,000 leads, and we were getting some sales. And one day, the guy from the New Yorker magazine calls me and he says, "Bob, you're paying $25,000 for that ad. You have an 800 number. You're a direct response advertiser. Therefore, you qualify for direct response rates." I said, "Oh, okay. How much is that?" He said, $8,000. That was a eureka moment. That's how we developed a nationwide brand name, which was my original goal and my original real challenge was how do we get the word out there, not just in Kentucky, but all 50 states. And that was a major reason we ended up succeeding, and we ended up spending $60 to $75 million a year on advertising, which really drove the ship. So I think you have to have some ability to take risks, and you have to have ambition. You got to be able to work and commit yourself. That's the big thing, is commitment. It's like everything else in life. If you commit to it, you can't do it kind of on the corner of your desk. You have to be all in.